All aboard for episode 21 in the Simutrans Pak64German runs and sessions here on How Not to Game with Cali Jack. I'm your host, Cali Jack, the guy who shares the face, body, voice, everything with the ugly guy in the corner up there on the main page called Difid Rex. Even the bad habits. Chief most amongst which are the ones demonstrated and coffee these days. Alright, so we're kind of looking at what's happening, and we're having a bunch of vehicles and roadway types change out. So cobblestone road is now available, so we can upgrade our roads to a much faster road type in preparation for what is coming soon. Last episode, we were looking through the messages to figure out ways to try to alleviate and improve service. The question is, a month's gone by. How is that service going? Well, Sheffield's the spot to check, because we looked there at our happy versus unhappy. And we're still a pretty high unhappy and no happies. We had 333 people stuck there last time around. Did the express lining help us in any way, shape, or form? Not really. Something's still going wrong here. For some reason or another, folks ain't riding on that. So the question becomes, what do we have there? I'm not seeing the design that says male. But let's double check that. Yeah, I'm really not seeing that double slanted roof. Those are the flat roofs. So that's passenger only. So that's not the issue. It's not the wrong type of stop. Something is still going wrong here. And maybe what's going wrong can only be fixed in one way. What way? Maybe we need to build a faster connection. And how do we do that? Time to go to rail. The sad part is the cheap rails are gone. And with the cheap rails being gone, we are now kind of stuck with how we're going to get people to and from places. And the best bet that I can see is to take and do a change to train. And maybe, big if, can we begin to run a little train between those two communities? Where's our nearest depot? Long, long ways. All the way down here. So, our best bet is to add a new depot. Right out here. And build ourselves something that can go at least faster than what we've been running up until now. And see if maybe this guy can grant us something slightly better. The Iron Trotter. And now we've got to make some new connections by road. And those connections are going to require halts. And halts only, hopefully. This might even eliminate a good chunk of those stages. We'll see. Alright, let's go back over here to our one that we didn't utilize. And he's going to go, first up, copy him. We're going to need one at each end. And we're going to do a fast alleviate that way. Core and Roman station coach. And then same over here. But over here we're going to kind of do it as a double up. Make it a slightly longer route just to see how this works. Now, I'm not promising this is going to do anything, but I'm trying something. That's all I can do anymore, is try things. And he's already making money. Wow. How full is he? That's a good question. You know, that might actually take a little bit of alleviation off. And now we can start relieving traffic by going into the coach. Into the Swansea and stage line. All of a sudden, people are riding it. That's a good sign right there. Now we've gotten things squared away. we're just going to let it ride out, guys. And we're going to check some of these other stations. Do they have a connection? The Pi route. It's got a connection up. We're looking good. Looking better than we did, at least. And what does it do for our financials? Unfortunately, the dispatch alone kills us. And the question as to whether or not the line is profitable has yet to be dealt with, and it's not. But it's not massively losing money. When we look at the Swansea stage line, he's actually showing that he can make money. All right, we made an effort. We've made an effort. What next? Well, I think what next is to look here, and we've got yellow lines. These are the lines that just aren't getting the passengers to move, and they sit for up to a year. In 128, that's going to bite us. And we're getting some other issues occurring now. Our chooses are causing jam ups. And there's not an unchoose signal for the road. Let's take them out and see if that flows any better, or if it's going to cause us just as bigger problems. And if that's part of the issue, then we may have figured out that we have to have the choose on a side road. And to put it on a side road, well, we'll have to reduce our station capacity down to 2. So let's go ahead and do that. We weren't using those 2 anyway. Blast these guys. Go back to our road constructions. Get our choose signs and put them here and there as they come in. Does this now open up a better flow for us? Only one way to find out. Seems to be unjamming the traffic jam. We're going to let it run for a few minutes while I fill the coffee. Now our jam up's in town. And that's making it just as bad. I'm starting to think that maybe a good way to start moving people might be to put a second stop there on the Sheffield Roman station and change that relief coach that we put in to flip-flop between two different spots. I don't know. I don't think that'll work. At least not in the way I'm hoping. Still causing way too much jam up. There we go. So what we're going to do is retarget something. And how do we do that when everybody's out on the road? Doesn't always work, I'm going to be honest with you. So we're going to take Sheffield Town Hall Station off and replace it with a stop here instead at the Roman station. So I'm going to insert, do him there, take him out, go. We're going to speed run this guy for a few moments. Take him up around 11 until we see if that changes anything. Once they start going into that stop instead of Town Hall, or if they all stay on Town Hall until we send them to the... Nope, there we go. So it has begun, and now we're going to see, did that unjam things, or did it jam it up worse? And it's looking like we're making this intersection now the nightmare. But at the same time, things are a lot better flowing. So the question becomes, what happened down here? We have happy customers. And our happies and our unhappies are getting closer and closer. We have done what we set out to do. Taking it back down to the 2.5, I prefer to run at for the time frame. There we go. And that's how we address and figure out quality of service. Took 2 episodes, 40 minutes. You'll probably be a lot faster because you'll know what to do. It's not me trying to explain it, go through it, and show it to you so that you can know how to look in the future. You'll be able to just peek, and go. You will have to do the speed run if you do an on-the-fly change of a station stop in a line. And I do find for certain methods of transport, trains, trams, etc., the rail versions, they seem to require to go back to depot in order to reset properly sometimes. Keep that in mind. Alright guys, I'm Cali Jack. Have a better day and try to breathe your coffee or beverage of choice less often than I do.